All right, we're gonna start it. Wait, yeah. Okay. What's up, everyone? We are going to start it now. There's enough people in here for me to say, hey, I think this is enough people. 20 people. Spanish nurse here. Bullish on SENS. Yeah, starting to plan on an exit plan from Nano Dimension, losing confidence on them for some reason. Why? Besides holding a lot of cash, like, yeah, I definitely think holding too much cash is bad, but they keep telling us they're going to do something with it, so we're just waiting on it. So my regular viewers, you guys are probably wondering why I've been gone for like a week or so. Like 5 days, give or take. Something like that. What's up, King of Clowns? What's up, AJ? Start asking me questions. I feel like it's hard to hold live streams, man. Jeez. You're alive. Yeah, I'm alive, James. Yeah. Besides my video I posted on Friday. Ziugas. Man, I hope I said your name correctly. So what did you guys want to look at first? Like, how am I supposed to hold these streams? Like, what's the correct, like, format? If you guys want to help me out here. Is there a correct format? Probably not. I'm going to fix the chat box just to make sure people can see your chats too. Let's change it to white text. How do I make sure people can see your text in the chat box? Font settings, white. There you go. All right. Much better. Okay. Got a lot of people in here now. How many? 42? Wow. All right. Aaron, what's up, Aaron? How you doing, man? We got Shoeless Joe. Jilin Sung. Do you have any long positions on Babad? No, I do not. Hey, John, what's up, Memphis? How you doing, man? Nano Dimension at 3. Continue to hold. Dude, nice cost basis, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Sensonics. I'm very happy on Bitcoin. Me too. I'm very happy on Bitcoin. Are you going to buy into the stock you just advertised? HelloPal? Maybe. I mean, I don't have a brokerage account with Fidelity, so I can't even buy them. But the only thing that sucks with HelloPal, I don't think it sucks. I don't think anything particularly sucks. It's just it's like a competitive space. You know what I mean? So they're gonna have to beat out a lot of competition. But so far, the numbers are supporting their ideas, the proof of concept. If they can keep getting if they can keep getting that growth, that's pretty big deal. HelloPal's also integrating the cryptocurrency wallets, which I think is going to be really good. Bitcoin surge indicates market rally next week. I really don't think so. The reason I don't think Bitcoin's going to indicate any market rally is because we saw the tech sector fall like what 40%, and Bitcoin barely budged. That in that entire the whole correction that we just experienced over the last 2 weeks. More notice on the live streams. Yeah, I'm thinking about having a schedule for the live streams. I'm not exactly sure what day works best for everyone, especially based on everyone's time zones, and not everyone who watches this this channel lives in the United States. Solar panel company. Yeah, if I think solar, I go immediately to Tesla. NASA started using on satellites. Okay. Oh, okay, so it's more of like space commercial solar. Mike from Anchorhead. Repping the coffee. Hey, what's up, Mike? Yeah, dude, I'm drinking some of your coffee right now. Right now, I'm drinking some of that coffee. They were nice enough to send me a bunch of coffees, guys. Go check them out. This one is Sumatra. I think this is the only one where I've tried one batch. Just make sure you have a coffee grinder, grind it up. It's really good. Okay. stick to the topic and make this more. I would have sort of ahead of stream time and stick to the topic to make this more informative. Okay. Yeah, I'll make it informative as much as I can, of course. I mean, I want to teach you guys as much as I know and, frame you guys for the right mindset whenever you invest and, do your own due diligence. Normally prepares a list of companies he talks about and then he starts the Q&A session. How does he have a list like set up before he starts it? Like how does he notify everyone? Like how does that work? Jaime, if you want to elaborate on that. Tesla's getting ready to pop. Yeah, Tesla was a hell of a good buy around $500. Update Nano Dimension Sensonics. So nothing materially has changed in their in either business respectively. Nothing's changed. As far as price action goes, do you guys want to look at stocks? Like, do you guys want to look at charts, or do you want to just like ask things and we can talk collectively about what's happening in the markets, things like that? But yeah, Bitcoin is definitely paying off, which is in part of why I was missing too this week. I was trying to figure out what I could do with some of that money. My idea is to buy some income-producing assets to feed into Bitcoin. Sensonic's debt level worry you? No, because they have the ability to raise capital still. Sensonics as a long-term hold? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. The 90-day product's already a good one. But the 180-day SENS and eventually the 1 year, that's going to be a game changer, especially for the whole diabetes market, at least glucose monitoring. Future Bitcoin dip, man, I have no idea. I mean, historically, the Bitcoin's rallied like 5-10x at a time, and then it kind of consolidates. We might see one of those 20x's. Right now, we're about 20 times larger than we were when Bitcoin was 3,000 per Bitcoin. Right now it's around 60,000, so it's much larger. Midterm thoughts on Sensonics, like a year. Hopefully we get some approval this year. I'm not sure how the public markets will react to that, but if like for example, if Sensonics gets that FDA approval and price does not move, then that would be beneficial for anyone who's trying to buy into the stock, because then you're buying what would generally you think would cost more because of the FDA approval is being ignored. So that's kind of an edge for you as an investor. So I mean, if we get good news but stock price doesn't move, that's better for us. Thoughts on Sensonics? I use Streamlabs. So I could just switch through the tabs and show you my screen, show you my face, and then like the coming back soon, etc. Which coffee is my favorite? I think my favorite coffee is downstairs right now. So far, I really like the Ethiopia one. Honduras and Costa Rica are definitely my next two, and then it's pretty much even between these three. The Sumatra, Leviathan, and Narwhal. Hi, Sherika. Pretty much interested in blockchain and shit stocks like Mara, Riot. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys pay attention to Michael Saylor, but I was actually watching one of his interviews last night. I watched a couple last night. So he's saying that this is a billionaire, by the way. Okay, he is saying that not every basket of assets in like the fund management world, like your 401ks, your Roth IRAs, your hedge funds, not everyone is able to buy Bitcoin outright. So the next best option they have is to buy any publicly traded securities that hold Bitcoin to have exposure to Bitcoin. So I think that money will pour into those companies. I'm not sure how quickly, if it'll happen in actual Bitcoin or if it'll happen in the securities side. But if Bitcoin does well, these are definitely going to do well. But I think that the gains or the potential rally in these stocks, in the Bitcoin stocks like Mara, Marathon Group, Riot, what are some other ones am I missing? Oh no. Can you guys hear me still? You guys can still hear me. I'm gonna figure out what the heck happened. Oh, okay, we're back. They're probably gonna move up a little faster than the rest, at least in terms of percentage gains. Okay. Solarius Pharmaceuticals. That's SLRX, right? Yeah, I was looking at that one when it was like $1, and then it shot up to $3, and then the whole like tech correction happened. Best Bitcoin link. I buy my Bitcoin off Coinbase. Maybe promote it during the week. For Europe, 3 to 4 hours later is good. Okay, so I mean it's like 7 o'clock in Europe, is it not? Like 7 p.m. On the week news, what's happening throughout the week. Talked about the most relevant companies. Talked about ones. Okay, I got it. What's the date for the FDA approval? We actually have no idea. They actually did push the expected date into possibly the second half of this year. But if they're lucky, they'll get it before June. Maxer, I have no idea. What is Maxer? MAXR stock. What helps you answering questions before they get asked, gives your viewers the chance to ask about what you've researched and explained. Okay, well, I talk a lot about Nano Dimension and Sensonics and Bitcoin on this channel. I've talked about a couple other ones, but for the most part, these are my go-tos, and these are the ones that I think are going to prevail. Bitcoin being a way to protect yourself from what they're doing with the dollar right now. AONE compared to Nano Dimension. Isn't AONE a SPAC? Isn't that a SPAC? I don't even know what company is going to merge with them. I could be wrong. Texas is all good now. Yeah, we got our water fixed like I think a couple weeks ago now. Take on SOS. I'm not sure. What do they do? What does SOS do? And then I could just give you a general idea. Uptrend in the stock market? Yeah, we've been uptrending since March last year, man. We've been uptrending for quite a while. F. Daniel said F. Expensive in the US. Dexcom products. How I believe Sensonics, the Eversense, is more expensive than Dexcom's products, but you don't have to replace it as often. So Sensonics charges a flat fee to any third party or distributor, so they collect that money up front, whether they sell it or not. The reseller, so like a pharmacy, whatever, if they don't sell it, that's kind of their problem. They collect their money up front, so they're kind of predictable as far as revenues, at least if we know how many distribution channels they have. Cardano. I don't know too much about Cardano. What are they? So with cryptocurrency, you have to see like what is the value proposition behind the coin. So I think with Cardano, it's privacy, kind of like Zcash. Battery recycling. Yeah, battery recycling is going to be very necessary, at least if we want to have a sustainable electric vehicle future. Are people putting phone numbers? What is that phone number for? Wilson, I'm going to have to remove you, bro. Sorry. Yeah, mods, if you see some phone numbers, just get rid of that, please. Thank you. I sold EBON and then it popped. Yeah, so as far as the stocks that you want to hold, you have to know why you hold it. That's the best thing that I could tell you right now. You want to be able to, I guess, take advantage of the market climate right now. Again, money printer, still printing. People... the federal funds rate still incredibly low. It's been kind of inching up, but it's still really low in terms of the greater scope of things. How heavy am I in Nano Dimension? Right now I've got like 30 grand in cash secured puts tied up in Nano Dimension and Sensonics. I think I have 12 and a half in Nano Dimension plus another 144 shares. And then with Sensonics, I got like 1,100 shares, and then another 3,500 shares tied up in cash secured puts. So I guess I'm likely gonna get exercised on those. So I'm gonna guess like, I think I've got like 1,200, yeah, like 1,200 Nano Dimension shares, and then like 4,000 something Sensonic shares. And then Bitcoin stocks, I am like 80% Bitcoin because it's swelled up in value, and 20% stocks right now. You were gonna call that guy? No, that's a terrible idea. Ideonomics, I have no idea what they do. They like have no clear presentation for how exactly they're making money, so I don't like them. And I think they're based in China. So, I mean, I don't think China's bad, but how do you hold China accountable? You know. So, do you guys want to look at some charts, or like, what do you guys want to look at? Yeah, Aaron. Some people in the group were saying they got Nano Dimension under $7 again. I'm telling you, that $6 mark was basically free Nano Dimension, and you guys got it really damn close to $6. So, very good job. Into Ethereum, I don't know. I don't. I think I need to see more use case for it. I know, we have like the NFTs, the digital art that's been selling. Like, did you guys see Beeple's 5,000 days of his work? He got $70 million for that digital artwork. It's crazy. $70 million. Anyways, yeah, as far as where I was going with that, I know Ethereum has use case, but I think Bitcoin's still going to outpace Ethereum because we still have an entire globe of money that still needs to pick up on Bitcoin, and not everyone's going to be storing their wealth in Ethereum. People are going to use Ethereum, but I don't think that they're going to use it as like store value like Bitcoin. So paid 69 million for it. Clover Health. What happened to Clover Health? I'm not even sure. You guys want to look at some charts? Like, what do you guys want to look at? Let's look at some charts, shall we? It's like Ethereum, but better. How? How is it better than Ethereum? Yeah. Hey, King of Clowns, if it's not broken, don't fix it. I'm focused on them because we're long-term investors here, so I'm going to be talking about it a year from now. As long as they're doing good things and striving to do good things in the manufacturing space, I'm going to hold it. And it'll pay off tenfold eventually. What are we going to look at? What do you guys want to look at first? Oh yeah, this is not the first time I've heard a shortage on semiconductors. UMC and their potential growth. I have no idea, but I do know if there's a shortage of anything, there's going to be more demand for it, especially in this day and age where people need it more. Price target for Palantir? I have no idea. I've seen $150 price targets for Palantir. But again, I don't exactly understand their business to a T, so I have not invested in them. I know they work with the government. They do data analytics. They have a few different products. I forget the name of their products. One's like enterprise. One is, I think one like law enforcement uses, things like that. What happened here? When did I put this line? It's been a while. So it touched, fell below it, it's still below it. Yeah, I mean, if it's good business and you've done your due diligence and like you want to look at it and think like, okay, what are the odds of this company going to zero? That's how you should approach your investing. Which price target? Oh wait, I already read that. Uniswap. Oh, Nano Dimension price target is still floating right now. I think we have a high to breach at some point of $18. So when that'll happen, I can't tell you, but I've got 6 days for my cash secured puts to expire out of the money. So I would really appreciate if the markets would move for me just a little bit higher. But if not, oh well, I get my stock. So Bitcoin, you want to look at Bitcoin? Man, Bitcoin's been insane. I actually saw it go over approach 60,000 last night. That was very fun to watch. What's it doing right now? I just wonder how much higher it's going to wave. What do you guys think? A $70,000 Bitcoin sometime next week? What do you think? Think it's possible? Roblox. I don't know too much about the game. Last thing I heard about Roblox is they're very dependent on using Apple Play Store and I guess Steam, whatever platforms host Roblox Roblox depends on them, because if they were to delist them off their platforms, they wouldn't really they would have to market themselves basically. So I don't think it's bad necessarily, but it's kind of like a more of like a single risk to Roblox. I don't think it's a risk to go to zero, but it would definitely cut into their business if they were to get delisted off of, like, let's say the Play Store or Steam or whatever. But I know they make a ton of money. It's kind of like, it reminds me a lot of Minecraft when it first got bought out. Do I think it'll dip below 60,000? Man, I have no idea. Michael Saylor's calling for a $10 million Bitcoin in the next 15, 20 years. So who knows how fast it'll happen. Strategy with Bitcoin. Will you ever sell? So my idea is, once there's more products revolving around loans, collateralized loans against your Bitcoin, my idea is to get loans against my Bitcoin and fund some real estate deals, and then pay off that loan back, get my Bitcoin again, and pull equity out of the real estate to reinvest into other real estate, maybe buy more Bitcoin, and basically run the wheel that way. Speaking of which, I just reactivated my second phone because I'm going to be putting out bandit signs in my town to look for wholesale real estate deals. I set up a small partnership with an old colleague, and he's going to help me get my feet wet in the real estate space. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm going to start looking for deals, and the second I get some motivated sellers, we're going to make some real estate deals happen, guys. And then once that does happen, I will explain to you the process. Unless you guys want to know the process right now, then I can tell you right now. But if you guys want to know more about stocks right now, I can tell you about stocks right now. 70,000 easy. Yeah, I think so too. Skills is very interesting. So I thought Skills produced the games themselves, but they actually just host the games. I think they need at least a 4-star rating on the App Store. They have to have no glitches or bugs in the game at all. It has to be competitive, meaning there's no pay to win or anything like that. It needs to be fair for both parties. And they have a patented matchmaking algorithm which pairs people based on skill. So I think that's very cool too. As far as the financials, I have not looked enough into Skills financials, but it's a very interesting concept, and nothing like it exists right now. So Skills can be a dominant player in the space, considering they have that first to market approach right now. New stocks I'm looking into, not really. To be totally honest, not really. I was looking into Tesla when it was like $500. That was really good value right there, especially in the greater scope of things right now. Stimulus is going to Bitcoin. Yeah, probably. It's gonna flood the markets, but We're only getting, I think, out of the 1.9 trillion bill, I think we're getting like, how much was it? I think we're getting like around 400 billion is getting distributed to people across the country who qualify. I'm not sure how much of that's going to go into the markets. I would imagine a lot of it, though. Money's got to go somewhere. People don't want to just keep money in their bank. Stonks. Yeah, heck yeah, stonks, man. Yeah, Nano dimension rise, NASDAQ, wholesaling in Florida. Nice. What's your experience with wholesaling real estate over there? Invest in EV. Yes, I have some Tesla. I have a little bit of Tesla. Just a little bit, though. I want more Tesla, but I'm very heavy in nano dimensions and sonics and Bitcoin. Very heavy Bitcoin right now. Very, very heavy. I started buying Bitcoin around here on this initial run right here. So it has been a journey. What was I gonna look at? I need more chat, guys. Give me some more chat. How many people are in here right now? We got 70 something people in here. Viewer count. Is there no viewer count on here? There you go. Yeah, there is. I'm gonna put this right over here. No, I'm gonna put this. Where do I put this? I'll put it on the bottom right next to my face. Right there. How does that look? What do you guys want to know? The inflection point for Bitcoin, you want more Neo? And then get more Neo. I personally don't like their business model, so that's why I never touched it. How did I get into Bitcoin? What was the inflection point? I actually owned Bitcoin in 2017, and I sold it because I had different ideas in mind. I didn't understand Bitcoin enough in 2017, but I started to learn more about it. And as I learned more about it, I learned that it was immutable and going to be very hard to destroy. It's very hard to destroy things that are as big as Bitcoin is. And in order to destroy Bitcoin, you would have to invest billions and billions and billions of dollars to do a 51% attack, or to overpower the network to push some false transactions through. And it gets stronger and stronger every day that goes by. So the longer it goes around, the more it's going to stay around. And the fact that it's able to, like, I just learned that with Bitcoin, the blockchain is able to store energy. And according to Michael Saylor, nothing's ever been able to store energy pretty much in space-time. Like, the work is done and it's put in the blockchain. So there in Bitcoin, there's proof of work, and that is something I really was what's the word? I was astonished to see, like, this even exists, really. So, yeah, who knows where Bitcoin's going to go? Honestly, no one knows. Some people think it's the greatest Ponzi scheme of all time. Some people think it's going to revolutionize the store value for the entire Earth world. So, yeah, it's 1 trillion market cap right now, probably a little more than 1 trillion. And they're calling for maybe $100 trillion worth of assets to go into Bitcoin at some point. So if that's the case, we got another 100x from here over the next who knows how many decades. But that would put it at what? Like a $6 million Bitcoin? That'd be insane. Any thoughts on ZOM? Is that Zoom or Zomedica? I don't even remember anymore. 3 contracts in the order to start the month. Okay. I'm falling behind on your messages, guys. Sorry. Hey, Captain, I appreciate the donation, man. Neo to the moon. Yeah, I'm not sure so much about Neo. Not stock price, but like the business. I mean, the stock might freaking 10x again. Who knows? I'm falling so behind on you guys. Where is it? It's in Neo and forward. Please check SOS. INSG. What is SOS? All right, I'll check SOS, but only stock chart. What is this? What is this? Does this account for any stock splits back here? Probably not. Where's the chat box? Nano Dimension. Favorite financial YouTuber? Ooh, that's a good question. My favorite financial YouTuber. Man, that's a really tough question. I mean, a lot of them have their strengths, you know? It's really hard to just pick one out. A finance YouTuber? Dang, man, that's a really hard question because everyone's got their like opinions, you know what I mean? Like there's no one true like outlier that's going to be like, "Hey, this guy's better than everyone else." All of them are good in their own way, you know? Everyone has their strengths. I don't even know if I can answer that. New stocks. I mean, not really. Not really, to be honest. I'm just paying it. It's for me. It's a lot easier to track the ones that I have looked at and am able to understand and just follow them. Honestly, it's much easier that way. Lost me right there with Neo. What do you think of Sundial? That's the cannabis company, right? Sundial Growers, right? Yeah, I don't think it is a cannabis company. Cannabis is still illegal federally, but you know we have Biden in office, so who knows what's gonna happen with that. Real estate deal in Texas, please. Yeah, for sure. Mining companies like Riot and Mara, I think those stocks are gonna fly, especially if Bitcoin starts to fly. Like, hear me out. Monday, once the markets open, all the Bitcoin stocks are going to rally. No guarantee, but based on MicroStrategy was $1,300 when Bitcoin was like $45,000 or $50,000, and right now Bitcoin's $60,000, and MicroStrategy is trading under $800. So, whatchamacallit, the if you have options, for example, in MicroStrategy, if you have one of those call options that's like $10,000, that thing's probably going to swell in value next week. Apart from Bitcoin, are you buying other altcoins? No, I have 0 altcoins. I am all Bitcoin right now. Wait for a dip. Your best bet right now with Bitcoin is to dollar cost average. If you want Bitcoin, go on Coinbase, go on Gemini, buy some Bitcoin. Let's say you have like $1,000 or $5,000. Buy a few $100 every day for the next month, and just sit on it. The main point, guys, is the money I have invested does not affect my lifestyle at all, so I'm able to write out the whatever corrections or whatever. It does not affect my lifestyle at all, so I could just sit it out. So that's the difference. If this is money you absolutely need, I would maybe stay away from it, just because if you see Bitcoin go to like 30,000 again, you might sell it. So that is my take on that. Esports, yeah, esports is big. I would really like to get into esports. Man, honestly, being an esports player would be pretty fun. Interested in some infrastructure plays like Bitcoin. Speaking of infrastructure, okay, so as far as Bitcoin plays, a lot of companies have been getting into the Bitcoin space, like the Bitcoin treasuries, the website that basically tells you all the companies that were invested in Bitcoin. Their list has gone up. It used to be 1 page, now it's like 2 or 3 pages. So more companies are getting into Bitcoin. None as hard as Tesla or MicroStrategy, but they're starting to slowly trickle their way into Bitcoin. Lordstown, they got a long way to go. So does Workhorse. They got a long way to go. That whole contract thing really scared a lot of people off of it. I don't think they're bad companies. They're trying to do good things, but they have a lot to prove still. Bitcoin is not energy efficient. Actually, it's getting more efficient as time goes on. Do you think investing in Bitcoin and green energy is conflict of interest? No, because Bitcoin mining on nuclear energy is actually more green than any of the other plays right now. And eventually we're going to get solar Bitcoin mining, which is going to be funded by the sun and not the earth. So that's going to be crazy too. Ale Rodriguez, thank you so much for the donation, man. I appreciate it. You should ask some questions. Oh, that was you. Okay, that was you. Hey, man, I appreciate the donation. 50 shares of Sundial. Cost average 68 cents. If you think that it's going to be legalized in the next while, then yeah, possibly you could hold it, but otherwise, I don't know. It's just one of those things that there could be like one, like all it needs is just one block, and their business could potentially crumble. But take that with a grain of salt. I have not done any research, but the fact that it's a cannabis stock, yeah. Worried about regulation stopping the rise of Bitcoin? No. If we were going to be worried about regulation on Bitcoin, we would have been worried years ago. Not right now that it's a $1 trillion market. Something really bad would have to happen in the regulation for Bitcoin to crumble, but it's pretty apparent that Bitcoin's not going anywhere. Norwegian Airlines, they're saying cruise lines, airlines are never really going to recover to where they were pre-CV19, mainly because the pandemic basically let all corporations, all businesses know that they are able to operate from home. Their employees can operate from home. They have less overhead if they don't have to pay rent to house their employees while they work. So there's a chance that means less business travel as well. So yeah. Macro perspective. Look at the money supply that's gone out last year. We have a ton of stimulus. Bonds are still not very appealing or enticing. Even though the rates went up, it's still not really that desirable. There's a ton of asset inflation right now. So we have, desirable businesses, desirable real estate, trophy real estate, all of that is going up right now. And you want to put your money in things that are scarce. So that's why we see this whole rise in the markets right now. Yeah, Ty Lopez. In my garage. You got to read some books. You got some books. You got to read books. Price target for Sensonics. I'm going to talk about my cash secured puts because I have some. Okay, so you guys see this these orange lines. So this is my cash secured put break even price, and I'm going to buy this line in the middle is my strike price. So I want Sensonics to be above $3.68 by March 19th. Okay, so if it's above this, I'll get assigned the shares, but I still get to make a little bit of money, which is okay. If I get assigned the shares at 5, but it's still like a little under $4, that's okay because I collected a pretty fat premium on it. If it's above $5, then I keep all the premium. So preferably we want Sensonics right above here, but we don't want it above $6.32 because at that point we're missing out on potential profit. So that's the thing with cash secured puts, by the way, if you're selling options contracts and acting as a seller. Dead Inside's pretty awesome. I like his channel. Financial news site. For news, I just use the SEC Edgar research tool, the company search page right here. This is my favorite news site right here. My favorite place to get news is direct from the company. But I will look at just to get notified, I will look at like CNBC or like Yahoo Finance. Things get put up there. There's a ton of analysts out there that get paid to blog about these things. But as far as getting, unbiased news and just researching material, the Securities Exchange Commission, by far the best place because you get to connect with the company directly. There's no fluff there. You know what I mean? How do you find new stock? So whenever I found Nano Dimension, I was actually on ARK Invest's ETFs, and I was just looking through their list of smaller businesses because they have a fiduciary responsibility for their investors, so they're not going to invest too heavy in the smaller businesses. But I saw Nano Dimension. I just started doing research. I started researching a bunch of different companies, but Nano Dimension was the outlier there. They had a very unique product, and they already had the proof of concept, so that like really lit the light bulb in my head, especially when it was only trading at like $2 or $3 a share. Considering the amount of money that they had already produced. You did not miss any analysis on any stocks right now. We're just talking about the general macro scope of these stocks. That's why I'm invested in MicroStrategy. Yep. MSTR is going to be a very large company based on their Bitcoin investment. They were already pretty big. They were $1 billion company before they invested in Bitcoin, but thanks to Bitcoin, they're worth, I think, over like $5 billion, and then they have another like $1.5 billion in debt too. So what does that make them? Like almost $7 billion. Yeah, from 1 to 7 billion in just a few months. Actually, no, not a few months, like 6 months. Ripple, I have no idea what's going to happen with Ripple. I have no idea. Ripple news. Any cryptocurrency that gets modified more than what it was fundamentally made for is something that I would take as a red flag. I don't know how much Ripple has been modified, if at all, but I would be careful about that. View on the drone industry. Yeah, drones are going to be very used and sought after. I wonder if we're going to get human-sized drones to transport people like taxis. Sounds like a risk, but we'll see. Book recommendations. You guys want to read? Okay, I'm going to put on my Ty Lopez glasses right now. They're the exact same glasses. Okay. I was reading this one. So I was reading Jason Calacanis. Here, I'm going to switch this real quick. I was reading this book, Jason Calacanis, Angel, How to Invest in Technology Startups. So this is when I was talking about Republic.co and Seed Invest. These are places that you can invest in startups without being an accredited investor. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, books. The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham, that is standard. Essays of Warren Buffett, that's standard. And also, if you guys want to really learn about Bitcoin and learn like what kind of value there is behind Bitcoin and the concept of money in general, read the Bitcoin Standard. Read this book. You can get this on Amazon. I think it's like $30 right now. It's sought after. Probably more so now. But you guys definitely want to read this book. If you want to know a lot about the usability of Bitcoin, read this book. I'm telling you. Okay, let's put it back. But yeah, as far as the angel investing, Jason Calacanis in this book basically says that if you, let's say you have like $1 million in net worth, put 5% of your net worth across 10 or 20 startups that you've done a lot of research on, and there's a chance that you hit a unicorn, and that $2,500 to $5,000 investment can turn into multiple hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. You just have to do your research. Michael Burry, yeah, he's on another level, man. Bitcoin crash gonna hurt a lot of people, yeah, especially if they sell. I agree. Imagine if the earth crashed. Ouch, watch out, son. Yeah. How many people would get hurt? Yeah, everyone would get hurt, man. Everyone. Around $100 at one time. Yeah, okay, so that was on a pre-split basis, by the way, when Nano Dimension was up there. They had less shares outstanding. You never use their app. Yep. Within 6 to 9 cash covered puts. 6 to 9 cash covered puts. Oh, okay. Contracts. You want 6 to 9 contracts. Chris, need to wait until your OCGN and SRNE covered calls expire 319. You could always buy them back, technically. and close them yourself. PYR, no, I didn't. I never did. Print ETF, plasma torches, interesting. 3D printing too, just listed in. I'm not sure, man. New spec, AONE, yeah, I've heard of that spec. Printing company Arc is also buying it daily. Yeah, I have not looked into Markforge. I'm not sure how I feel about SPACs in general. There are some good ones, but a lot of SPACs are just honestly trash companies. How do you read Form 4 filings? Takeaways. Form 4, which one is that again? Form 4 filings. Form 4 SEC's statements of beneficial ownership. Is that the 5%? Oh no, that's the that's the 13G or 13D. The Form 4 is just like a statement. It's just like an announcement that they're required to make, that if they still own that percentage, they have to disclose that in their filings. That's pretty much all it is. It doesn't mean that they like have new ownership. It could be that they have the same ownership, but they have to disclose it again. Yeah. Oh yeah, eHang is doing that, right? I think there was a short seller report on eHang recently. I don't know if you guys have seen that yet, but there was a short seller report. I think that's what actually crashed the price pretty significantly. Trying EH stock, read it to us. You want me to read which book do you want me to read to you, Aaron? There's a German flying car startup called Lilium, 56,000 square foot vertiport in Florida. Is this publicly traded? 19 to 22 short midterm. Looking at technicals alone, yeah, I was calling for an $18 breach. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but it will sweep those highs. I think there is some more short interest in Nano Dimension, but remember, guys, short interest is a blessing in disguise because shorts will have to cover eventually, and that is buying pressure on the stock. All of the premiums, I will wait on OCGN. Report made you money. What'd you do? Did you buy puts right before it came out? What'd you do? What'd you do, Aaron? OCGN, sell more covered calls. Yeah, whenever there's a lot of volatility, that implied volatility is going to give you some juicy premiums. That's why I sold cash secured puts on Nano Dimension and on Sensonics. Man, my coffee's cold as hell now. Shit. Do you guys put a lot of creamer in your coffee? How do you guys like your coffee? Let me know how you guys like your coffee. Who says the market really bottomed, though? What do you mean? What do you mean, John? It's a nice name, by the way. Lit. Oh, have you guys heard of Stable Road Acquisition Company with Momentus, the space infrastructure company? I'm pretty excited about that one, honestly. If they can proof of concept that, I'll probably invest there. Heavy cream keto style, nice. I tried keto. Keto's so hard. I've done IF though. I lost weight doing IF, intermittent fasting. That makes all the difference. So anyone who's sitting at their computer feels like they're getting fat, like I was, just do IF. You'll feel a lot better. Like when I started really like hitting this YouTube channel hard in December, man, I felt like I was getting fat. Oh man. Sold at 120, bought at heavy cream. Okay, diluted in hot water. You like pulling a Nano Dimension in your coffee, David? Tea. Yes. I don't drink tea very often. Black, no sugar. Nice. Nice. You might as well just eat the coffee beans at that point. Yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing preventing this market from going back into a correction. Yeah, I mean, I can see what you mean. Historically, stocks go up, though, and every fiat currency in the history of the world has failed. So it is just a matter of when. But yeah, I don't think, intraday anything can happen. I agree, John. Black like my soul. Rocket Labs. I'm not sure what Rocket Labs is trying to do. Isn't that the 3D printing rocket company? Are they focusing on space infrastructure and like making little mini cities in space in orbit? Yes, their CEO is the Russian guy. You want me to read you stuff from? Do you guys want to hear from the Bitcoin Standard book? Let me know. Coffee grounds soda dilution is necessary in this. Nice. Okay, quarter. I'm gonna start writing some of these down just so I can get like the ratios that you guys are drinking your coffee and just trying something new with my coffee. I honestly like to put a lot of creamer. Like in my coffee, I'll put like 20-30% creamer in it. I like it a little sweet. Regular job researching, doing YouTube. So far, the income that I have produced, YouTube's been supporting me. Patreon has definitely been supporting me. And I've gotten very lucky on stocks. So for the most part, stocks and the sponsorships have helped me a lot. But besides that, I just look at stocks and do research for you guys. And that's how I survive right now. But yeah, if you guys want to, so that's two people who want to hear from Bitcoin Standard right now. But yeah, as far as like working and like generating income, I have been blessed to make some decent investment choices, and it has paid off tenfold. And I get to share that with you guys, and sharing it with you guys is helping me survive right now. So it's fantastic. Coffee one. Okay, so he said 1 teaspoon sugar, quarter milk. Okay. Like based on the coffee? GILT, I'm not sure. Nano Dimension Diamond Hands, yes. Okay, so I got 1 Bitcoin Standard. 2 Bitcoin Standards. Yes, like so the time I was gone, I was doing a lot. So the time that I was gone this whole week, I was reading this book. I was reading on angel investing. I was researching on how to start my own investment fund. I was thinking about taking my Series 65 so I could be an investment advisor, so I can come on here and be like, I am a financial advisor or something like that, or investment advisor. You know how like the standard is, but do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. Like if I got this, I could be like, yes, I am an investment advisor, but I don't charge a management fee because, this is YouTube. So yeah, I was looking into that. I just reset up my old phone for wholesaling real estate, and I am in the middle of purchasing signs to distribute across my city so I can get into real estate. And that is going to be a fun adventure. I got my feet wet in wholesaling real estate a few years ago, but the deal fell through, and I kind of just hopped off of that. Yeah, Chicken Genius is awesome. Yeah, I do watch his channel. I need better coffee. GLT, Starlink IPO, Starlink. I don't know when they're gonna IPO. I have no idea, but so far they are in the middle of expanding their satellites, and you know what's actually cool? You can see their satellites here. Let me show you. Okay, I'm going to show you this. I don't know if you guys knew this, but you can see all the satellites that they have right now. So, like, for example, this right here is a rocket that just took off probably not very long ago. And over the next few weeks, they'll spread out kind of like all of these other satellites. And, yeah, so here's another launch that was not too long ago. Here's another launch that was not too long ago. Yeah, Starlink's... Man, how many satellites do they have in space already? I didn't realize they had this many. They're trying to get, I think, 10,000 in space. 10,000 satellites. But again, I don't know when they're going to IPO, dude. But Starlink, man, like I read somewhere someone was on a cruise line with Starlink, and or not a cruise line, they were just out at sea, like deep ocean, using Starlink. Tips for creating passive income. To make passive income, if you don't have like startup funds, the best way is to just do something that you can secure income for a while and just really save your money. Like if you have any debts, if you have credit card debt right now, pay that shit off. If you have any if you have any high interest compounding bearing debt, especially in the world of credit cards, get rid of that shit like immediately. If you have any personal loans, high interest personal loans, like anything above like 10%, get rid of that too. But after that, your next step is to save as much money as you can. So that way you can show income and then have money in the bank. So that way at one point you can get a loan to buy some kind of income producing asset like real estate, or if you have experience, if you like are in the world of e-commerce or online businesses, you can go and try and find a business that's not for sale and try to negotiate a deal like, hey, I want to buy your business. You can go and get an SBA loan. You can start a fund. Maybe you can just come up with some investment plan to where you can buy some income producing assets and just hold on to them. But passive income is going to come with some initial investment. If not by money, it's going to be by sweat. So, yeah, that's how you're going to do. Just produce some value, you will get your passive income. My best bet right now is real estate. That's why I'm trying to get into real estate. If you have a property paid outright, for example, then you can collect passive income on that every single month. But the hardest part is starting. That is literally the hardest part. Yes, okay, I've gotten a bunch of Bitcoin. Okay, all right, hold on. I'm going to pull this book out. Make it nice, look nice. Sean Connery. Name is Sean Connery. The Bitcoin Standard. Yes, content. I'm just kidding. I don't even remember how to do his accent correctly. In life, I hate working for corporations. Yeah, I actually was a pharmacy technician. Not that long ago. That sucked. I mean, it was work. You know what to expect every day, but it's very busy work. Also, real quick, for the income part, if you have a lot of money in stocks, if you want income, you can sell covered calls. Just remember, if you sell options in the stock market, you will limit your upside, but you can secure some income that way. I don't day trade. As far as taxes go, I'm trying to decide whether to file to become a day trader. What do you mean? As far as taxes go, if you buy or sell anything within a year that's short-term capital gains, so you're in a higher tax bracket. I don't know if they like mark you as a day trader, but I showed income in 2020 for my taxes, and I already paid that actually, which is pretty nice. But I don't think they registered me as a day trader for it or anything like that. If you have over $25,000 in your account, you can day trade, but I mean, I don't advise day trading. You can get lucky, but you can also get unlucky. When Starlink's profitable, I remember reading this a few weeks ago. Can you cover UAM? What is UAMY? Why does everyone keep mentioning that stock? What is that? Someone tell me what exactly that is, and then maybe I'll look at it. Something tells me you guys are bots and you're not real. Why would 5 or 6 people ask me at once? That's shady. Okay, I'm just going to go through the chapters in this book, and then I'll read snippets within the chapters just to not bore you guys. But yeah, just pick one, whichever one you want. Okay, chapter 1 is titled Money. Chapter 2 is titled Primitive Money, or Primitive Monies, so money, back then. Chapter 3 is Monetary Metals, like why gold, Roman Golden Age, Byzantium and the Benzant, whatever. Chapter 4 is government money. Chapter 5 is money and time preference. Chapter 6 is capitalism. Chapter 7 is sound money and individual freedom. Chapter 8 is digital money. Chapter 9 is what is Bitcoin good for. Chapter 10 is Bitcoin questions. That is it. Okay, you guys are not bots. Good. None of you guys are real. God, I got like 10 UAMYs. Okay, so what is it? It's a mining company. What do they mine? Like precious metals? Like rare earth metals? What do they focus on? Day trader, if you open an LLC. So basically day trading as a business. Ah, okay. There's tax benefits that way. I'm not sure how it works in Texas. I got to talk to a securities attorney for that, just to be sure about that. But thank you for sharing that, David. So you pay a lower income tax bracket for that. Hey, from Philadelphia, not a bot, CJ. Okay. Not trying to call you guys bots. It's just like 10 of you guys mentioned the same stock at the exact same time. It just looked like, what? Silver, gold, zeolite. I'm not sure. I mean, as commodities, people use gold and silver, but as investments, I don't know how I feel about gold and silver. If you guys know what I mean. I'm not a bot. That's rude. I'm so sorry, Alan. It's just a little shady, that is all. Digital money or answers about Bitcoin? Digital Alanism. APML. What was I going to look at? Where is it? It's digital money. Okay, and then we have 3 sections. Bitcoin as digital cash, supply of value and transactions, and then the appendix. It's 168. Right? Right, Aaron? That's what I thought. Just because I got a few comments the same way, but people keep telling me to look at this company. I like really wondered, like, whenever you guys bring up new companies to me, I'm not really trying to ignore you guys. It's just if it doesn't look enticing to me on the surface, I just won't look at it. And mining is not very sexy, in my opinion. Mining is not sexy at all. Brandon, thoughts on GILT? I'm gonna look, Brandon. What is guilt? Are you guilty? What is guilt? Gillette? Is that what that is? Coinbase when it goes public. Depends on the valuation. If it's a good bang for your buck, I mean, Bitcoin's not going anywhere, so they're going to be cash flowing. Maybe they'll pay dividends. Who knows? What's up, Chi? Let's go fishing and talk UAMY. Okay, all right. I'm going to pull up UAMY. Damn it. I'll do it. I will do it. It's an OTC stock. Antimony Corporation. Okay, so no one talked to me about this stock last year. Why? Why is it only popular now that it's like 10x'd? Let me see. They have some revenues. 137 million market cap. Okay, I'm gonna go on the. So you guys are gonna see how I do some basic due diligence right now. We got the 8K. When was this? February 19th. Notice of delisting. Okay. Let's look at their 10K. Most recent 10Q. We'll pull that up. So they've got 76 million shares outstanding right now. So this puts them at a what valuation? So 76 million times stock price. That is market cap. So they are trading around $1.32. 76 times $1.32. So the figure on Google is not accurate. It is not 137 million in market cap. It is actually around 100 million in market cap. Unless I'm missing some filing that is that would put more shares outstanding. Yeah, they didn't issue any more shares, so I think 100 million is correct for UAMY. GILT is a 5G stock. Okay. Copy trading on each. What is copy trading? I don't like bots or anything like that. I think you should develop your own strategy that you're comfortable with because you've done your due diligence. And mining can be totally sexy. Depends on who's mining. Okay. Global Grayscale Bitcoin Trust as a Bitcoin investment. I don't know how I feel about Grayscale. Me personally, I think if you can responsibly custody your own Bitcoin, just do that. But they're pretty much buying up all the new Bitcoin supply right now, along with PayPal and Square. So I don't think it's a bad idea. But I personally would rather hold Bitcoin. And like I said earlier in the stream, not all the money baskets, if I should even call them that, like hedge funds, institutions, 401ks, IRAs, they're not able to buy Bitcoin directly. So the next best thing that you can get that they will invest in for you is the public securities like Grayscale. So money is going to be flowing in there. Bought the crap out of the dips last 2 weeks. Nice, dude. Yeah, I had some people in the Patreon group buy under $7. I don't know if you guys checked out my last couple videos on Nano Dimension, but I was saying that with their cash holdings, they were like worth like pretty much exactly $6 in just cash value. So anything under 7 was for every dollar above 6 was essentially paying $250 million for Nano Dimension. So if you paid under 7, you bought Nano for less than $250 million. Following, Biden wants to ramp up production of all of the EV needed resources. Okay. Yeah, see, the thing with mining too, location's important. So if you want to diversify in mining, you'd probably want to buy any company that's in a obviously nickel dense area. I'm not a geologist, so I have no idea. Some kind of proof of concept, of course, like they've already had existing resources pulled from their mine. Like I would not go into a brand new mine unless they can show something. But I mean mining for EV materials is going to go up because EV sales are going to go up. I have no Bitcoin on BlockFi. That is using a custodian, third party, and I'm not comfortable with that. I would rather custody all my Bitcoin. That is me. Thumb wrestling championship in the 6th grade. Yeah, dude, that was me. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, I guess I'm pretty baller at thumb wrestling. I'm the best. No one's got stronger thumbs than me. SENS at 195, Nano Dimension around 6, 2,000 shares in Nano at 3. That's pretty good cost basis. Mine notable antimony in the U.S. Okay. Yeah, see, I'm not too sure about that. I would have to do a lot of research on that. Thoughts on Zomedica? Last time I talked about Zomedica, I said they don't own any of their licensing at all. Like, they have really no intellectual property that they own, so they're dependent on the people licensing the software to them. Okay, hold on. I literally never read, like, I've had this book open for some time and I've never read anything. I'm pretty sure you guys want to hear at least something from the book, right? So you guys don't have to go and buy the book yourself. Yeah, of course, CJ. It's not financial advice, but it is advice. EV related material recycling companies. I mean, a lot of companies can recycle, but some companies are going to be more efficient than other companies. So, if you're looking at like 10 companies that recycle materials for electric vehicles, you want the one that has the best. What's the? I forget how to pronounce the word. Metallurgical process to extract all the diode, the cobalt, and all that stuff. Some of them are going to have better processes, so you could use that as an edge over the other companies. If like you want to look at the 10 and this one has the most efficient process, I'll probably go with that one. You could do like a you go up, get an eraser and just squeeze the hell out of that eraser. Like do 10 sets of 50 squeezes. You'll get ripped. Or you could buy one of these things and just you just like that. One of these things, you know what I'm saying? These things are pretty good. Very good for your flexors. I bet you guys weren't expecting me to pull that one out. Yeah, thumb wrestling. This will definitely give you swole thumbs, guys. This will give you swole thumbs. You have ripped. You're going to be chiseled in the thumbs. Like you're going to have little thumb biceps. Hard wallet. Yeah, I use a Ledger. I use a Ledger Nano for my Bitcoin. Ledger Nano S for the Bitcoin. Something I didn't really... You would watch me thumb wrestle right now. What would I thumb wrestle? Okay, digital money. I think I'm gonna go straight to digital. All right. Do you guys really want me to read this? I'm gonna be talking for like maybe like 5-10 minutes straight if I do start to read this. Intermediate payments after years of innovative trial while intermediated. I mean, I think, is there a book on this online or audiobook? Strangely Aroused. Yeah. First thumb wrestling channel. Thumb wrestle myself. You know, I feel bad for anyone who walked in on this stream or came into the stream and the first thing they see is me like flexing my hands. I think a Dogecoin. Dogecoin is a meme coin that was literally created as a joke, but everything that has perceived value, I guess, is worth something. So as long as people are willing to pay for Dogecoin, it will have some kind of value. Lordstown short report. There was a short report on Lordstown. How recent was this? Is this brand new? I did not hear about that. A short seller report. That's crazy. Bathroom break if I'm gonna read. Okay. Is anyone like on the road right now, driving, listening to my live stream? If you are, please wait till you're like at a red light at least to respond. Okay, I'm surprised I still have like 80 people's attention from this. Check out the chart. Check out the chart. The chart. Oh yeah, no, I saw Lordstown had a ridiculous drop from their peak, but I didn't know it was based on a short seller report. I just thought people were losing confidence. Yeah, okay, so a bunch of people want to take little bathroom breaks while they listen to me read. Does my voice have that effect on people? You know, yesterday I had someone say that I had a YouTube-esque voice. Do you guys agree with that? I think he was just trying to be nice. He was just trying to be nice to me. This is one of my friends' friends. But he was saying, man, you have a YouTube-esque voice. I'm going to unmute myself undeafen myself just so I could listen to your voice. It's like, okay. I've never heard anyone say that about my voice. It's crazy. Went under $14. They got a Hindenburg report. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, what's the success rate on Hindenburg's reports? Worth not ignoring, but it's been debunked. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you have to be able to answer these short sell reports. Like, the best way to have conviction on your investments is to find everything wrong with your investment and try to find an answer for it. That's the best way. Like, if you don't understand what you're investing in, it's going to be really hard to hold it if it drops 50, 60% in value. Bitcoin Cash, I don't like it. Roger Verne's, I don't know. Puts us in a trance. Puts us in a trance. I think it's the microphone. The microphone is just very crisp and picks up everything in my voice. I still have not started reading, dude. I'm gonna hold this book forever and not start reading. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, that was like 5, but I'm back. Litecoin own a few. Yeah, Litecoin was one of the first. I think Bitcoin is going to be a dominant store of value. Everything else is an altcoin and will have its own use case. But as far as store of value and having an immutable asset, safe haven asset that was previously bonds and real estate, I think a lot of that's going to go to Bitcoin over the next decade. So if you have Bitcoin right now and it doesn't affect your lifestyle to just hold it, why not just hold it? I don't think you'll regret it later. And if you do hold it, make sure you actually hold it and it's not Robinhood Bitcoin or it's like held by a custodian. Personally, I'm not comfortable letting someone else hold my Bitcoin. I would rather have control of my Bitcoin. Yeah. Bitcoin as digital cash. You guys ready? It's gonna be a little lesson right here. I need to clear my throat too. I'm gonna be reading for a little bit. No, my hair is just naturally like this. My hair just, I wake up and then this is what I look like. No product. Just kidding. Yeah, I do use product. That was a lie. Looking dapper. I appreciate it, Diego. I appreciate it, man. 50 shares. Dude, I'm never going to read this book, bro. Would you rather have 50 shares, if being equal, of a $5 stock or just one share of a 200? So, Greg, stock price does not matter. What you want to be looking at is valuation. Stock price does not matter because if you have two $5 stocks, right? Let's say Nano Dimension and Sensonics are both trading at $5 right now. Nano Dimension is going to have a much larger, wait, actually, no, that's not true. Sensonics is going to have a much larger market cap because they have more shares outstanding. Okay, so it's going to be stock price times however many shares outstanding. And in order to figure out shares outstanding, guys, it's really simple. Just go to the SEC Edgar, go to Google and type in SEC Edgar, type in any stock ticker you want and look at their most recent 10Q. So like, let's look at MicroStrategy. Okay. 8K. I mean, 10K, do they have, yeah. It's right here. We're going to pull up their 10K. We're going to scroll down a little bit and then we will see that this registrant had, here, let me zoom in. I don't want to lose my place in the book, but I'm going to show you guys how you can, check shares outstanding because this is the more accurate way to look at it. Don't rely on Yahoo Finance or anything because they don't always update on the spot. But this is where you can get, you know, accurate numbers. So we have 7.6 million Class A and 2 million Class B. So if we get these two numbers, add them, we have 9,587,000 shares outstanding in MicroStrategy right now. So you can do this with any stock. Literally any stock. Let's do it with Nano. I mean, with Nano Dimension, they've been issuing new shares. They just got a new shelf offering, or they just registered more shares recently. So, yeah, I think they're sitting at like 250 million shares now. They registered 39 million shares. This is the last raise that they had. Let me see. There's gonna be maybe here. Let me zoom out. I can't see anything here. Okay, so we have 172 million right here. So yeah, we got 172 million shares outstanding in Nano Dimension as of December 31st, but this could be a little different right now. But this is just how you can get accurate numbers, guys. Yeah, so on Robinhood, you don't own any Bitcoin. You just have an IOU. It's like a promise that you'll own Bitcoin eventually, but you don't actually own any. $5 if you send your best Sean Connery voice. James Earl Jones voice. Smart account. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to like please everybody here. Product to use. I use a it's like a wax. It's not a gel. I don't use gel. I use like a wax. Kind of has that like dry shine, you know. Home buys a real gold mine. They wouldn't be able to do anything with a real gold mine, I don't think. Unless they're going to use the gold to produce better mining rigs, maybe. PayPal and Coinbase. I actually bought Bitcoin off of Square a couple times. It's pretty easy. I did not really only have ever one or two. Okay. I have a smaller account, so with averaging down, I really only have one or two buy orders I can execute before my commission fees add up and raise my risk. How do I determine a bottom to buy? Just identify significant areas of support and resistance and buy as close to those areas as possible. Obviously, support. Buy as close to support as you can and just dollar cost average. That's what I've done. And it's a way to help your cost basis. And you'll get better returns that way. But, you know, it's not guaranteed stocks only go up. So that's why it's better to mitigate risk and buy at support. But if it's moving sideways, for example, for an extended period of time, just buy some. First trade ever? I think I bought like an index. My first purchase ever was index fund, SPY, SPX. Yeah. I'm from Canada, so broker options do not offer $5 per buy. Okay, if that's the case, literally, it's hard for a lot of people who don't have conviction on their holdings. But if you're gonna buy stocks, just buy stocks with great underlying companies associated with them, and then just hold it. Literally, that's it. Buy scarce assets right now because you're all the monetary purchasing power of the dollar is going down. The dollar is the global unit of account right now, and it is getting weaker. So just buy scarce assets. Shift. I don't know too much about Shift. That's the merchant, right? The payment processor. I could be wrong. No, that's Stripe. I'm thinking about Stripe. What's Shift? Okay. All right, Bitcoin. We're gonna talk about Bitcoin real quick, just so you guys know about it, because I think everyone should know about Bitcoin, because more and more people will get involved in Bitcoin. I'm telling you, hear me out. Okay, to understand the significance of a technology for digital cash, it is instructive to look at the world before Bitcoin was invented, when one could neatly divide payment methods into two distinct non-overlapping categories. One, cash payments, and two, intermediated payments. Cash payments, which are carried out in person between two parties. These payments have the convenience of being immediate and final and require no trust on the part of either transacting party. There is no delay in the execution of the payment. No third party can effectively intervene and stop the payment, like a bank, for example. The main drawback is the need for two parties to be physically present at the same place at that particular place and time. A problem that becomes more and more pronounced as telecommunication makes it more likely for individuals to want to carry transactions with people who are not in their immediate vicinity. My financial friend pumps and dumps everything. I hope they can come off YouTube. Oh man. Intermediated payments. Okay, let me see. I'm still on Robinhood, but I have a brokerage account with Webull, and I have one with TD Ameritrade, but I don't think they kept it open just because I didn't submit the documents that they wanted. But I'm still on Robinhood. But primarily, again, my primary holding right now is Bitcoin. But besides that, I hold 3 positions. I have Nano Dimensions and Sonics, Tesla. I had some Groupon. I think Groupon's still a good value for what it is right now, but Tesla at $500 was a steal for me, so I got some Tesla. NFTs, I have no idea. Julie Ward, Jonathan, Diego should wear Christmas. How do you know I'm not wearing Christmas pajamas right now? I'm just kidding. I actually have Christmas PJs, by the way. Okay, the second form of payments is intermediated payments, which is requires a trusted third party, okay, and compromised checks, credit cards, debit cards, bank wire transfers, money transfer services, and the more recent innovation such as PayPal as an intermediary or third party. By definition, why is that such a hard word to damn say? By definition, intermediated payment involves a third party handling the money transfer between the two transacting parties. So if I wanted to, pay you guys, or you guys wanted to pay me, and we wanted to have a third party trust, we'd have to go through PayPal, or you'd have to Zelle me through the bank, or you would like Cash App me or Venmo me, and these are all third parties, okay? The main advantages of an intermediated payment is allowing payments within the two parties to have to be at the same place in the same time, and allowing the payer to make payment without having to carry her money on her. The main drawback is the trust that's required in execution of the transactions, the risk of the third party being compromised, and the cost and time required for the payment to be completed and cleared to allow the recipient to send it. Banks are slow as hell. PayPal generally slow as hell, unless you do instant transfer, and then they charge 1% on the spot. And even then, it's not guaranteed they'll let you pull your money off of PayPal. There have been a lot of cases where PayPal will hold your money hostage if you transact through PayPal. So that is another problem with using third parties. What's up, King? Zero Cole? Did I say that right? What's up, fellow Texan? Howdy, y'all. I try not to say y'all that much, but it's such a Texas thing to say y'all. Both forms of payments have their advantages and drawbacks, and most people resort to a combination of the two in their economic transactions. Before the invention of Bitcoin, intermediated payments included, but not limited to, all forms of digital payment. The nature of digital objects, such as the inception of computers, is that they are not scarce. They can be reproduced endlessly, like images and things like that before NFTs, for example. You could still reproduce those, by the way, but, there's always an original with the NFTs. But that's besides the point. Let me finish reading. They can be reproduced endlessly, and such it was impossible to make a currency out of a digital product because they could be duplicated. Because sending them will only duplicate the item and not limit the item. Any form of electronic payment had to be carried out via an intermediary because of the danger of double spending. There was no way of guaranteeing that the payer was being honest with his funds and not using them more than once unless they were a trusted third party overseeing the account and able to verify the integrity of the payments being carried out. Again, through like banks, PayPal, etc. Cash transactions, paper cash, were confined to the physical realm of direct contact between, two people, while all digital forms of payment had to be supervised by a third party. I'm going to take a little break. Price target for Sensonics and Nano Dimension. I'm hoping Sensonics will be above $4 in the next week. And then with Nano Dimension, $12.50, hopefully, again, before the end of the week. So $4 SENS, $12.50 Nano Dimension. Of course, I could be wrong, but those are my price targets specifically because I have cash secured puts, and those are areas that I would be totally okay with price going, at least in the short term. What was the last thing I read? After years of innovative trial and error by many programmers, and through relying on a wide range of technologies, Bitcoin was the first engineering solution that allowed for digital payments without having to rely on a trusted third-party intermediary. By being the first digital object that was verifiably scarce, so 21 million Bitcoin, Bitcoin is the first example of a digital cash. Now, digital cash, I will say that I don't know if it's necessarily a cash, but it's going to be a way to transfer a lot of wealth without having to, move truckloads of gold and things like that. There are several drawbacks to transacting through the trusted third parties, which makes digital cash a valuable proposition for many. Third parties are by their very nature an added security weakness. Involving an extra party in your transaction inherently introduces risk because it opens up the new possibilities for theft or technical failure in that third party. Further payment through intermediaries leaves the parties vulnerable to surveillance and bans by political authorities also. In other words, when resorting to any form of digital payment, there was no alternative to trusting in a third party and whichever political authorities rule over it, and being subject to the risk of the political authority stopping the payment under pretext of security, terrorism, or money laundering. To make matters worse, intermediated payments always involve a risk of fraud, which raises transaction costs and delays final settlement of the payment on the other side once it goes through. Risk these in order. You got 5K to spend. PLTR, BNGO, 1 year from now. What is NNDA? What is NNDA? Okay, in that list, 5,000 Sensonics. I would put all of it in SENS. It's easy. Price target for Sensonics and Nano Dimension. SOS. Okay, all right. What is SOS? Sauce. What is sauce? We're going to look them up right now. SOS Ltd. Am I looking at the right company, guys? SOS Limited. Prospectus. Am I looking at the right company right now? Is it SOS Limited? Someone verify, please. Chi, you said Groupon and Dropbox. Okay. We were formed in Delaware 2004 as China Risk Finance. We began our credit analytics. Is this a credit company? Do these guys specialize in loans? Oh, wait. I don't think this is the right business. What is this? SOS. What is SOS? I don't think... Oh, okay. Under the... Okay, no, this is the right one. They had a different ticker back then. That's why. Okay, so they used to be traded under XRF. In May 2017, we completed our IPO, in which we sold a total of 11.5 million of our American depository shares, each representing 10 Class A ordinary shares. In the third quarter 2018, due to regulatory changes that made it cost prohibitive and in some way very risky for the regulatory compliance's perspective to own, operate our legacy marketplace lending platform, we decided to cease customer acquisition and loan facilitation of our legacy marketplace lending platform and started to transition our own business to other industries. Where does it say they transitioned to SOS? Oh, we also changed our trading symbol to SOS. Why is this company something that I should be looking at? Besides stock price, ignoring stock price, tell me something really great about this business that makes it a desirable asset to own. That's something that you should ask yourself every single time you look at a new company. What makes this desirable to own? And also important, can the company grow faster than the money supply entering the markets right now, which last year was like 20%. So right now, any business you invest in better be growing at least 20%. By the way. Anyways, I'll keep reading. Okay, wow, there's still 70 of you in here. You guys are awesome, by the way. Thank you guys for staying and actually participating in the live stream for so long. Like, you guys are amazing, and I appreciate the support. Okay, where was I? Damn, I lost my spot, guys. Oh, okay, I found it. All right, I'm going to keep reading. All right, in other words, intermediated payments take away a significant share of the properties of money as a medium of exchange controlled by its owner, with high liquidity for him to sell whenever he wants. Of the most persistent characteristics of money historically are fungibility, or any unit of money that is equivalent to another unit, and liquidity, the ability of the owner to sell it quickly in a marketplace. So stocks, for example, guys, are liquid because you can sell it pretty much immediately. People choose money that is fungible and liquid because they want sovereignty over their money. Sovereign money contains within it all the permission needed to spend it. The desire for others to hold it exceeds the ability of others to impose controls on it. While intermediated payments compromise some of the desirable features of money, these shortcomings of using a third party are not present in physical cash transactions. But as more trade and employment takes place over long distances, thanks to modern telecommunication, because we can use the internet and you guys are watching me live stream, right? Physical cash transactions become more prohibitively impractical. So if I want to give you guys $100 right now, like let's say in the last giveaway, imagine that I sent $100 in US dollar by mail to everybody who won. There's a chance that 4 out of 5 of them would not have even got it because in the process, someone probably would have stole that shit. They see $100 bill in an envelope, that thing is gone. The move towards digital payments was reduced. The move towards digital payment was reducing the amount of sovereignty people have over their own money and leaving them subject to the whims of third parties they had no choice but to trust. If we use Bank of America, PayPal, we have to trust them, right? Furthermore, the move from gold, which is money that nobody can print, toward fiat currencies whose supply is controlled by central banks, further reduced people's sovereignty over their wealth and left them helpless in the face of slow erosion of the value of the money as central banks inflated the money supply to fund government operations. It became increasingly impractical to accumulate capital and wealth without the permission of the government issuing that money. Satoshi Nakamoto's motivation for creating Bitcoin was to create a purely peer-to-peer platform of electronic cash that would not require trust in third parties for transactions and whose supply cannot be altered by any other party, no government, no one. In other words, Bitcoin would bring the desirable features of physical cash to the digital realm and combine them with the ironclad monetary policy that cannot be manipulated by any central bank or third party to produce unexpected inflation to benefit people from outside the party at the expense of people holding the actual currency. So anyone who, like for example, last year, anyone who had really large savings saw the purchasing power in their savings diminish as soon as the interest rates went down and they started running the printer. Like they really screwed people who are in the business of like people who are just about to buy real estate, for example. Let's say you had $20,000 in cash or $30,000 in your bank account and it was just sitting there. Whenever they started to print a ton of money last year, the central banks, the treasury, they essentially so the house that you were saving for, let's say you have $30,000 cash and you were saving 10% down on a $300,000 house. Well, thanks to all their money printing and the lower interest rates, now all of these assets are inflating in price. That $300,000 house that you wanted now costs $500,000. But you still only had the $30,000 in the bank. How come? So basically, them creating more dollars affects you as a money holder. Imagine that you're holding stock in the in the United States. Like imagine that the dollar is the treasury stock. Okay, like if you were to look at it as like a stock, like you're holding stock, they just issued a ton more shares, or in this case, a ton more dollars, but you didn't get any. So you got diluted out of the cash that was sitting in your bank. But now the asset that you already had enough money for, that went up in value because all the assets were appreciating because of all the money they were printing. But you got none of it. You got what I'm saying? You got none of it. They helped you with a little stimulus, whatever, but the rest went to local and state governments. We hardly got anything. Like if you were to get all the stimulus and we collected every dollar, we would each have gotten like I think like $10,000 or $15,000. But altogether, out of the 3 stimulus payments that the U.S. is getting, I think it's a total of $1,200, $600. That's $1,800 plus $1,400, so $3,200. We should have gotten like $12,000. So that's something to think about, guys. I can't tell you how to think, but I can tell you what to think about. Right? So those are things to think about, guys. Where was I? Okay, yeah. Next. For anyone new tuning in, welcome to the chat, guys. We are currently talking about some the Bitcoin standard, and we talked briefly about Nano Dimension and Sensonics. So welcome anyone new. Also, there are new spots in the Patreon group. If you check the link at the top, it's pinned at the top in the chat. It's the link to the Patreon group, patreon.com/JPinvesting. There are some new positions open, or not like job positions. Why am I saying it like that? Like there's new slots available if you guys want to join. We had a bunch of people who didn't want to stay in the group, so there are new positions or spots available in the Patreon if you guys want to join. I will be hosting some private live streams there too. Where is the next thing? What are your top 2 call options for next week? I have no call options. No call options as of now. Shift online platform to buy, sell used cars. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. The used car market is going to boom as EV starts to increase too. A lot of people are going to switch from normal combustion engine cars to EVs over the next 10 years. So those cars got to go somewhere, either the junkyard or they're going to sell it to someone else who can't quite afford a electric vehicle yet. Could be a good play. If it's the cheapest one out there, then and they have good financials, then yeah, I don't see why not. I need some water, guys. Gevo's the biodiesel stock, right? Biodiesel? Gevo? Could be wrong. Let me go back here. I need to change this. I'm going to change this every so often so you guys can get access to like a new stock every so often. Okay, I'm going to go back to what I was reading. Are you guys listening, by the way? Just drop a chat. Let me know if you guys are listening. Spam the chat real quick. Just type the letter F if you're listening. Literally, that's it. Just type letter F, enter. Capital F. No lowercase f's. Just capital F's. Nakamoto removed the need for trust in a third party by building Bitcoin on a foundation of a very thorough and ironclad proof of verification. It is fair to say that the central operational feature of Bitcoin is verification, and only because of that can Bitcoin remove the need for trust completely. Every transaction has to be recorded by every member of the network so that they all share one common ledger or journal, for example, of balances and transactions. Whenever a member of the network transfers a sum to another member, all network members can verify the sender has sufficient balance, and nodes compete to be first to update the ledger with a new block of transactions every 10 minutes. In order for a node to commit a block of transactions to the ledger, it has to expand processing power or proof of work on solving the complicated mathematical problems that are very hard to solve but whose correct solution is easy to verify. This is the proof of work system, and only with a correct solution can a block be committed and verified by all network members. Got a whole bunch of Fs. What's up, Bobby Shea? How you doing? Dude, I got a bunch of Fs. Whole bunch of Fs. Ooh, I got a F to the X power by Chi. Mr. Eli. Anything? Okay. All right. Where else do you, I mean, I'm this, like, the chapter I'm reading right now on the Bitcoin standard is essentially just telling you like how Bitcoin works and why it works. So for anyone like tuning in right now, this is what I'm talking about. Basically what Bitcoin is, why it works as a unit of account and a form to transfer, digital value to another person. Once a node solves the proof of work correctly and announces the transaction, other nodes of the network vote for its validity, and once a majority has voted to approve the block, nodes begin committing transactions to a new block to be amended to the previous one and solving the new proof of work for it. Crucially, the node that commits a valid block of transactions to the network receives a block reward consisting of brand new bitcoins added to the supply, along with the transaction fees paid by the people who are transacting. What's up, Gerardo? Base portfolio looking green. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Bobby, yes. F is for fantastic. Heck yeah. You guys want to look at the blockchain.com just so you can see how public Bitcoin is? Like, everything in Bitcoin is like super public, so it's actually the opposite of anonymous. Like, it's very possible to tie Bitcoin wallets to individual people, especially on the exchanges. So yeah, it's not like Zcash or Cardano. It is very public. Anyways, what I was talking about, this process that I was talking about is what is referred to as Bitcoin mining, by the way. It's analogous to the mining of precious metals, and it is why nodes that solve proof of work are known as miners. So yeah, that is what Bitcoin mining essentially is people with Bitcoin nodes verifying the network, essentially. Corsair Gaming Incorporated, CRSR. 20,000 shares at 980. Okay, that's not a terrible cost basis. Especially when you could have got it at $18. I think you're doing just fine. Oh yeah. So did you guys know that the Bitcoin reward gets halved every 200,000 blocks? Did you know that? Probably not. At least some of you did. Where does it say? Where is it here? 200,000 blocks, right? I think it's 200,000 blocks. It could be 210,000 blocks. I think I'm wrong, actually. I think it's 210. LeVar Burton. Who's LeVar Burton? Hey, bro, don't spam the chat, please. Corsair Gaming, but I'll look at it real quick. But don't spam the chat. I just put you in YouTube live stream timeout for spamming. CRSR. American Computer Peripherals and Hardware Company, headquartered in Fremont, California. Founded in 1994. Okay, it's founder driven. That's pretty good. I mean, I've heard of Corsair. I'm just not sure exactly what they do. Were they listed just recently? Like, how long have they been publicly traded? Yeah, look at these clickbaity titles right here. Why investors weren't impressed with Corsair's earnings beat. They beat earnings, but it's going down. Why? There's too much short-term mindset in trading. I think YouTube really puts, like, unfortunately with YouTube as a like instant gratification platform, unfortunately it makes a lot of new investors want instantaneous gains in the stock market, and it's not It's not what's going to happen. Oh, the Bitcoin reward is halved every 210,000 blocks, Bobby, which is around every 4 years. What's up, Video Form? How you doing, man? Here in Europe, evening here in Europe, right? It's like 6 hours ahead, so it's like 9 p.m. over there. What else? Approximately 4 years, yeah. Reading Rainbow. I think I can double my money relatively quickly. Yeah, it's possible. Litecoin will have a privacy feature. Yeah, I guess I'll look at their financials real quick, CRSR, and then I'm going to go back to reading. I'm giving you guys some more knowledge, giving you some more Tai Lopez knowledge books. I mean, it is important to read. I'm not bashing books, but the way Tai Lopez monetized himself in his garage. Okay. All right, this company has currently, how many shares outstanding they got? I should say it right here somewhere. How can I see it? 92 million shares outstanding. Let's go to their chosen financials. Selected financial data. Revenues. Okay, so they had 937 million, 1 billion, 1.7 billion. They had a big jump from 19 to 20, significantly. Larger gross profit. They had a profitable year, which is good. Okay, so they have some earnings. What are they doing with those earnings? Now we check the operational expenses. Selling in general went up, standard. Product development, they're spending a little more on product development. Not as much as I would like to see. 50 million out of almost $2 billion in revenues. They're only putting, what, like 2.5% in research and development. They're probably not focused on growing right now. They just want cash flow, which is respectable right now, especially in this current market climate. How's the balance sheet look? We've got 133 million cash, working capital. Good. Well, total assets 1.3 billion. What are their liabilities? When you see a balance sheet, let's look at their 10Q. Okay, this is old. Total current assets 627 million. Total assets 1.2 billion. Total liabilities 867 million. Current liabilities 444 million. Okay, so they need cash right now, basically. So they might do a capital raise, or hopefully their stock goes up, they raise some money, or they get a loan from somewhere. But right now they need cash. Operationally, that's what they're looking at. 100x your money, right? Yeah, no, a whole bunch of clickbait. And it's sad because on YouTube, like, you have to use clickbaity titles or else your videos don't get views. Like, a lot of my videos that I don't use clickbait, it like really doesn't might be the dead inside leak. What does that mean? Do you think Richard Allen might be the dead inside leak? What does that mean? Yeah, like, you have to use clickbaity titles or else the YouTube algorithm, like watch time and everything, like, it has to be like really engaging or else it just doesn't spread on YouTube. I'm in Texas, by the way, Diego. What do you mean Richard Allen might be the dead inside leak? What does that mean? Dropbox. People want Dropbox. I'm gonna read another paragraph real quick. Okay, we're gonna look at a little bit of inflation right here. For every other money, as its value rises, those who can produce it will start producing more of it. Whether it's rhinestones, seashells, silver, gold, copper, government money, everyone will have an incentive to try and produce more of it. The harder it was to produce new quantities of the money in response to price rise, the more likely it was to be adopted widely and used, and the more society would prosper because it would mean individual efforts at producing wealth will go toward serving one another, not producing money. An activity with no added value to society because any supply of money is enough to run any economy. Gold became the prime money of every civilized society precisely because it was the hardest to produce. Bitcoin's difficulty adjustment makes it even harder to produce than gold. A massive increase in the price of gold will, in the long run, lead to larger quantities of gold being produced, but no matter how high the price of Bitcoin rises, the supply stays the same, and the safety of the network only goes up or increases. Hey, Luba, it's been a while. I haven't seen you in a while. The security of Bitcoin lies in the asymmetry between the cost of solving the proof of work necessary to commit a transaction to the ledger and the cost of verifying its validity. It costs ever increasing quantities of electricity and processing power to record transactions in the Bitcoin network, but the cost of verifying the validity of the transactions is close to zero and will remain at that level no matter how much Bitcoin grows. To try to commit fraudulent transactions to the Bitcoin ledger is to deliberately waste resources on solving the proof of work only to watch nodes reject it at almost no cost, thereby withholding the block reward from the minter. As time goes by, it becomes increasingly difficult to alter the record as the energy needed is larger than the energy already expended, which only grows with time. So in order for Bitcoin to get attacked right now there's around like 620,000 blocks mined in Bitcoin. So in order to try to post a fraudulent transaction in Bitcoin, you would have to go through every single block from block number 1, the Genesis block, or block 0, all the way up until today. So you would have to go through like 12 years of Bitcoin transactions to try and get one false transaction through Bitcoin. So just so you know. Gnog Golden Nugget Gaming, yeah. Tillman Fertitta, he's from Houston. Yeah, that's irrelevant, right? Okay, anyways. As time goes by, it becomes increasingly difficult to alter the record as the energy needed to attack the Bitcoin network is larger than the energy already expended in the network, which only grows with time. This highly complex, iterative process has grown to require vast quantities of processing power and electricity, but produces a ledger of ownership and transactions that is beyond dispute, without having to rely on the trustworthiness of any single third party. Bitcoin is built on 100% verification and absolutely no trust involved. It is proof of work. Bitcoin's shared ledger can be likened to the rhinestones of the Yap Island, discussed in Chapter 2, which I did not read. In that, by the way, rhinestones were like these big blocks or big stones that were very hard to make, and these small tribes would use rhinestones as a way to transfer wealth from people to people within their community. And the reason they could use the rhinestones is because they were so massive and they were hard to move. They would literally have these gatherings and bring people around and say, all right, so John used it, and let's say I gave it to someone else. So now this other person owns the rhinestone. John no longer owns the rhinestone. And then the whole community would say, okay, great. John, you don't own it anymore. This guy owns it. Okay, and then nothing would happen. It's literally like a stone that's in the ground, and then it would just stay there no matter what. Like, it didn't move. It was very hard to move, very hard to produce. So everyone just collectively came to an agreement like, okay, this huge-ass stone that weighs like 6,000 pounds, 10,000 pounds is derives value for this person, essentially. I guess that's like a weird way to word it, but you get what I'm saying. How's my Bitcoin investment doing? Very good. Very good. Oh yeah, I wanted to update for Sensonics. Yeah, Sensonics, materially, the companies we talk about here have not changed at all. Like a cam girl. Trying to get to that tip menu. You're so bad, dude. What the heck? Okay. Bitcoin's shared ledger can be likened to the rhinestones, blah, 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 in that the money does not actually move for transactions to take place. Whereas in the Yap Islands, the islanders would meet to announce the transfer of the ownership of a stone from one person to the other, and the entire town would know who owned which stone. In Bitcoin, members of the network would broadcast their transactions to all network members, who would then verify that the sender has the balance necessary for that transaction, and then credit it to the person receiving it. To the extent that the digital coins exist, they are simply entries on a ledger or like a journal, saying like a specific day, transfer of a certain number of wealth from one person to another. So most successful trade to date. Right now, it's rivaled between Nano Dimension and Bitcoin. Whatchamacallit? Like with Nano Dimension, it was like a $3,000 investment in options, and then another, I think like $2,000 or $3,000 in the stock. I ended up selling the options contracts. I put in around $3,000, and I sold them altogether for around $21,000. And then the stocks that I owned like also tripled in value or quadrupled. So, I mean, Nano Dimension's pretty good, but I've also tripled my money with Bitcoin as well. So they like rival each other right now. Okay, anyways. Where was I? Ownership of Bitcoin is assigned through public addresses, not by the name of the share of the Bitcoin holder, and access to the coin is owned by the address, which is secured through the ownership of a private key, a string of characters analogous to a password. Whereas Rhinestone's physical heft makes their divisibility highly impractical, meaning this big-ass 10,000-pound stone, you can't really chip pieces off of it or anything. It just has to be there forever. It won't move. It's just going to stay there. Bitcoin faces no such problem. Bitcoin's supply is made up of 21 million Bitcoins, each of which is divisible into 100 million Satoshis. So there's 21 million Bitcoins, okay? The thing that people don't understand is that there's 21 million Bitcoins, but there's actually 2.1 quadrillion units of value. I think it's either 2.1 quadrillion or 21 quadrillion units of value. So there's 7 billion people on Earth and over 2 quadrillion units of account. So this is easily divisible across every person on the planet, making it highly scalable across scales. Whereas the the Rhinestones, were only practical for a few transactions in a small island with a small population who knew each other very well. Bitcoin has far superior sellability across space because the digital ledger is accessible by anyone worldwide with an internet connection. Anyone can access Bitcoin. What keeps Bitcoin nodes honest individually is that they were dishonest. Is that if they were dishonest, they would be discovered immediately, making dishonesty exactly as effective as doing nothing but involving a higher cost. Collectively, what prevents a majority from colluding to be dishonest is that if they were to succeed in compromising the integrity of the Bitcoin network, of the ledger of transactions, the entire value proposition of Bitcoin would be destroyed and the Bitcoin token's values would collapse to nothing, or Bitcoin would go to zero in that case. What'd you say? Hey, okay, Diego, welcome to the group, man. I appreciate it. There's a ton of content there for you to look at, and I've shared. There's like 200 posts there now, I think, at this point. I hope you get real benefit from it. Oh, God, I have a knot in my back. It hurts so bad. Collusion costs a lot, but it would itself lead to its loot becoming worthless. So even if they were to attack the Bitcoin network, let's say that someone came out and attacked Bitcoin and effectively stole 1 million Bitcoins from all the institutional investors. Well, then Bitcoin's value would go to zero, and all the Bitcoin that they stole and spent money on stealing is going to become worthless anyways. So that's the whole point that this paragraph is making. So if they can steal the Bitcoin, Bitcoin goes to zero. If they can't steal the Bitcoin, well, then it's going to keep going. No single entity is relied upon for maintaining the ledger, and no single individual can alter the record on it without the consent of a majority of network members. What determines the validity of a transaction is not the word of a single authority, but the software running the individual nodes on the network, which is thousands upon thousands of verification nodes. Okay, here's an interesting paragraph. Ralph Merkle, inventor of the Merkle tree data structure, which is utilized by Bitcoin to record transactions, had a remarkable way of describing Bitcoin. CCIV or Sensonics? What? Bro, that is an easy question. You guys in the chat can answer this for me. Lucid Motors with no sales or Sensonics with proof of concept? What do you guys think? Okay, Bitcoin is the first example of a new form of life. It lives and breathes on the internet. It lives because it can pay people to keep it alive. It lives because it performs a useful service that people will pay it to perform. It lives because anyone, anywhere can run a copy of its code. It lives because all the running copies of Bitcoin are constantly talking to each other. It lives because if any one copy is corrupted, it is discarded quickly and without any fuss or muss from any individual party. It lives because it is radically transparent. Anyone can see its code and see exactly what it does. It can't be changed, it can't be argued with, it can't be tampered with, it can't be corrupted, it can't be stopped, it can't even be interrupted. If nuclear war destroyed half of our planet, it would continue to live uncorrupted. It would continue to offer its services, it would continue to pay people to keep it alive. There is incentive to mine Bitcoin. Remember that. Aaron, you're a troll, dude. The only way to shut it down is to kill every server that hosts it. Which is hard because a lot of servers host it in a lot of countries and a lot of people want to use it. Venezuela, prime example. Realistically, the only way to kill it is to make the service it offers so useless and so obsolete that no one wants to use it. So obsolete that no one wants to pay for it, no one wants to host it. Then it will have no money to pay anyone. Then it will starve to death. But as long as there are people who want to use it, who want to use Bitcoin, it's very hard to kill, very hard to corrupt, very hard to stop, very hard to interrupt. God. Yeah. Basically, I mean, this paragraph tells you why it's very easy for me to put a lot of wealth into Bitcoin right now. Not only that, like I said, in the future, you'll be able to collateralize your Bitcoin assets and to be able to buy income-producing assets that you could then feed more into Bitcoin. Yeah. Okay, we got 60 people in here. How long have I been streaming? 2.5 hours? Wow. Time flies. What else we got? You guys have any questions? Any new questions? So that way I'm not just reading, because people are going to join the stream and be like, what is this guy saying? What is he talking about? Because I've already gone through a whole chapter, almost. Actually, no, I'm not. No, I have not. Okay, I lied. There's a ton of pages left in this chapter. I lied. Thoughts on NIO? NIO's business model. Okay, NIO is an electric vehicle company. Tesla is a energy company. NIO is an electric vehicle company. So get that through your head first. NIO has the battery as a service that they're trying to do, which I think has a very expensive infrastructure to take place. Now, China is a very powerful country, so I'm sure they'll do whatever they can to make it work. But as far as like supply chain, I don't think NIO is vertically integrated like Tesla. It's the only other competition to Tesla in China. So if you're betting on China, then buy some NIO. China's, I'm sure, going to do whatever they can to keep NIO alive. Yeah, NIO is essentially a subsidiary of China in electric vehicles. There's no chapter on thumb wrestling, Julie. Investment strategy for the future is my investment strategy right now. Just buy and hold scarce assets that are desirable to own. Buy and hold things that are desirable to own. I'm not trying to time the market. That is not my goal, not my investment strategy. I want to find desirable assets and hold them as long as I possibly can, as long as they are desirable assets. It's very hard to wrap your mind around it, but that's why I say do your due diligence, because the more you know about the underlying asset that you own, the harder it's going to be to pry it away from your hands. The second you sell a desirable asset, someone on the other side is buying that from you, and you might not get it back. So keep that in mind. Star Trek or Star Wars? I never really messed with Star Trek. I never really watched Star Trek, not even the new movies, so I'm going to go with Star Wars. We have the higher ground here on this channel. We have the higher ground. Guys, if you do like the content that I make on the channel, please go to the Patreon group and support the channel if you would like. There are some spots available in the $5 group, and there's definitely like 100 spots left in the $10 group. They are limited in quantity, so this is a scarce asset, and if you guys would like to participate, then join the group. You will have direct access to me outside of these live streams whenever you want. Neo has a good CEO. That's what I like about them. They're not Tesla. They are a very different thing. Their competition is other car companies, not Tesla. Except in China, it's Tesla. Okay, yeah. All right, that's a good way to put it, Aaron. I like your analysis there. I think 2% to go to the moon, as long as it takes, Shoeless Joe. The thing you should be worrying about is what is the chance of them going to zero. So I would just monitor them and keep them from going to zero. That is what I would be more worried about right now, as they're a little quiet. I've been researching a lot about Neo. Did you know Neo partnered with Inception to make automatic driving e-trucks? That's interesting. Yeah, autonomous driving is the wave for sure. Hi Jennifer, welcome to the stream. It's been a while. Yeah, so autonomous vehicles are the wave for the future. All right, I'm gonna read the next paragraph, by the way, just so you guys can get a feel for this. Again, Bitcoin is a technology that survives for the very same reason that the wheel, knife, phone, or any technology survives. It offers its users benefits from using it. Users, miners, and node operators are all rewarded economically for interacting with Bitcoin, and that is what helps keep it going. It's worth adding that all parties that make Bitcoin work are individually dispensable to its operation. So any of these miners can go bye-bye, and that's it. They don't have to be there. They don't have to participate. Bitcoin is perfectly capable of continuing to operate as it is without whatever input anyone has on it. So if you don't feel like mining Bitcoin, that's fine. You don't have to, but someone else will. This will help us understand the immutable nature of Bitcoin in Chapter 10 and why attempts at making serious changes to Bitcoin code will almost inevitably lead to the creation of a knockoff version of Bitcoin, or in this case an altcoin, like Bitcoin Cash, for example, or Wrapcoin, or whatever the hell you want to call these other altcoins trying to mimic Bitcoin, but one that cannot possibly recreate the economic balance of incentives that keep Bitcoin operational and immutable. Name one other altcoin replicating Bitcoin that has anywhere near as much network support as Bitcoin. I'll answer it for you. There is none. What company NNDM is looking for? I have no idea, bro. No one knows right now. They just we have the criteria for what they're looking for, but we have no names for what they're trying to look for. Yeah, Tesla has Elon. Yeah, it sure does. Desirable scarce assets. When you say that, just things that are not assets are things of value that are scarce. Scarce assets are desirable things to own that are limited in nature. Okay, so if you want it to be real estate, you want to find some piece of real estate that is a one of one, for example. It is scarce because it is the only one, and you want to own it, because if you don't own it, then you own cash, and your cash is being debased by the treasury because they keep printing more. They're diluting your purchasing power in the dollar. So the reason I say that is you want to own desirable assets because they are limited in quantity, and the less there is available of it, the more that people are going to be willing to pay for it, because they also want that desirable asset. So that's why I say do your research, find the best ones. Oh, and also on top of that, desirable tech companies are companies that have a clear road to growth. And I mean, growth companies for that matter have always been technology companies because they are making huge material changes in the fabric of our world. At work, so I'm here and not here, but I'm here. Okay, you're good, dude. Um, that the future is all about who has the most and best quality data. In terms of people or companies, I mean, data is really important. Yeah, whoever has the best quality data and can, I think on top of that is how you interpret the data. Quality data, but also how you interpret it. But yeah, data is yeah, we're in the data age. This is the data boom. We're in the data boom right now. So yes, I can second her on that. I don't know if it's all about it, but it's going to be a lot of it. ABML, nice. Okay, I'm not sure what ABML does, but I support your decision. I trust you did your due diligence, Jennifer. Honestly, I see Elon, William, as like teammates or something, not directly competitors. William, yeah, Elon Musk says competition is good. So, yeah, Ethereum is not competing with Bitcoin, is it? It is different in nature. Not direct competition, I would say. For store value, it's definitely not competing. But for like smart contracts and tokenizing things, it is a beast of its own. Loving the dip, yeah, me too. When is the next thumb wrestling? There's no thumb wrestling competitions, man. Put notifications on for live thumb wrestling. Okay, I'm gonna go back to where I was. Okay, is emerging autonomous firm which provides a new form of money, a new payments network. I want to get to some like more. I mean, okay, so this whole book, you will learn stuff from reading this whole book, honestly. So I could sit here and read the whole book, but a lot of you guys are gonna miss out on a lot of the book. Should I put an affiliate link? Like who wants to buy this book? I will put an affiliate link right now if you want to buy this book. If you're like really curious about learning about Bitcoin, if you really want to learn about Bitcoin, there's a lot of free content on YouTube where you can get like the Explain Like I'm 5 version and things. But if you want like a really in-depth understanding and like want new concepts that you would have never gotten, I recommend reading this book. Safadine Amos, he is a economist at he's a PhD grad at, which school is he at? I forget. Which school is he at? Someone tell me. I forget which school he's at. Columbia University. Holds a PhD in sustainable development from Columbia University. And a professor of economics at the Lebanese American University and member of the Center on Capitalism and Society at Columbia University. Yeah. So yeah, he's pretty good on money, for that matter. Okay, what else do you guys want to look at real quick? I think I'm going to close the stream here in not very long from now. I'm going to hop off the stream. It's been 2.5 hours already. So I'm going to call it a day very soon. And for those of you who are not really familiar with doing due diligence, go on the SEC, go on Google and type in SEC Edgar, and the first link will bring you to this website. And this is where you can put in any stock ticker of your choice and figure out anything you want about that particular business. It is very crucial that you know how to use this if you want to invest in single stocks. If you don't know how to use this, do not invest in single stocks. That is my basic thesis there. If you can't read company filings, don't invest in their stock. Yeah, of course, Joe. Tesla. What about him? What about Tesla? Nano Dimension. What about Nano? Oh, charts? You guys want to see charts? Okay, let's look at Tesla real quick. I'm going to go on a daily. reacted around here, 550. Whoever had the chance to buy it pre-market definitely got it at a good deal. What do we want to look at? I mean, it's the weekend, so nothing's going to be changing right now, you know. I have this theory that when markets trade sideways for a long time, a lot of market orders start to build up as stop losses, and these market makers will do whatever they can to push price down to trigger your stop losses and buy the stock off of you for a cheaper price. So there was a stop hunt here, probably some accumulation, another hard stop hunt here, and then a rise. We'll see what happens. But again, the risk of your holdings is that your investment goes to zero. So you want to be as worried as you are about the stock going to the moon. You want to be just as worried. What is the likelihood of this investment becoming worthless? Because the most you could lose in an investment is 100%. So you want to make sure that this company has little risk of going to zero. Screw the stock price, honestly. I mean, price is important, but at the end of the day, you don't want it to go to zero. Yeah, they looked into a lot of companies. So they have Nano Dimension has two companies. They have two types of companies that they're interested in. They want a big company that has existing revenues where they can implement their nano services and their printers to create a new, more cost-effective way to produce those things for the existing businesses. And then another one is a smaller business that probably has less significant revenues. I think for the bigger companies, they were looking for like 50 to 100 million in revenues plus. And then for the other businesses, the smaller ones, they're looking between like 2 and 5 million. Or 2 to 10 million, somewhere in the like 10 million range in revenues. That is developing technologies that could be competing with Nano Dimension. So they could be interested in buying out a competitor or someone who has a technology that they could use and implement to Nano Dimension already, and that way they can benefit the company. That I think they would keep the people within the company running the company, but still further developing their products so that way they could benefit Nano Dimension. But they have two types of companies that they're trying to acquire. How is this going right now? We had 2,500 playbacks. That's pretty awesome. There's a lot of you guys in here. Okay, I'm about to wrap this stream up, guys. Any other questions before I hop off? I'm surprised I didn't have to drink as much water as I thought I would. Also, a quick reminder, guys, we do have a few more slots open in the Patreon group. If you guys want to join the Patreon group and get updated whenever I do place any trades or open any new positions, buy any dips, any options that I might sell or buy, any news that might be relevant to you guys in your portfolios, things like that, you guys can get that on the Patreon group. It's only $5 a month if you're in the Moonling group, $10 if you're on the other group. I provide a lot of value there for the amount that you're going to be investing. And I think it's a great value, especially because there's a lot of us in there who are invested in the same stocks. We can collectively mastermind the same things. Bitcoin 61, 130. Wait, it's 61,000 right now? Really? Is it really? Already? Dude, that is insane. Let me look it up. Huh, wow. Yeah, looking at my video in hindsight, holy crap. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up my my old video, and I'll bring that up just so you guys can see my transition. A lot of people dislike this video, but I don't think they dislike it anymore. Okay, so this is you guys can't hear it, can you? Why can't I hear this video? Why can't I hear it? I thumbed up my own video. Yeah, that's right. Why can't you guys hear this? Can you guys hear this? Hello? Okay. I think a lot of people would consider this reckless, but I took my time to really think about this and, you know, look at this is you guys can't hear it, can you? Okay, my bad. Hold on. I was muted. No duh. I can't hear it. Okay, you guys are gonna listen to this real quick, and I'm gonna skip to the points where what available information there is about this and from previous experience. So as you guys may know, at least the people who have closely followed the channel, at one point I had 4,000 shares of Nano Dimension and another 20. This is crazy to look at in hindsight, by the way. $2.50 strike price. This one was also expiring in May. So I made a very tough decision, and I parted ways with around 3,000 of my shares, and I sold all of my options contracts in Nano Dimension. I did not sell them to, you know, splurge on, you know, random crap that I really don't need. What I did is I sold it because I saw what I think could be a potentially far greater asset in the long term. This does not mean I do not love Nano Dimension as a company anymore. I love what they're doing. I am following them very closely, and I still have 1,000 shares in Nano Dimension. But what I did was I ended up transferring a majority of the equity that I had in Nano Dimension, and I moved all of it into Bitcoin. Again, a lot of people might call me reckless and, you know, talk a lot of crap in the comments, or, you know, some of you out there might be, you know, rooting for me on this. I simply want to hold more assets, especially the ones that I think have a lot of potential in the future. So only time will tell if this move will, you know, come back and bite me in the ass, or if this was maybe the smartest decision I have ever made in my entire life. I think the future is bright for cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin. I'm not talking about any other altcoins. I'm talking about specifically Bitcoin. And in this video, I am going to go over a couple things that you guys should take notice to that are reasons why I made such a drastic decision to move so much equity out of Nano Dimension and into Bitcoin. Just remember, guys, I am not your own due diligence, because really at the end of the day, that is the only way that you'll be able to solidify your own investment decisions. So the first domino that I wanted to talk about was Michael Saylor. And if you guys don't know who Michael Saylor is, he's the founder and CEO of MicroStrategy. They are a publicly traded company on the New York Stock Exchange. You can look them up. Their stock ticker is MSTR. The really bold thing that Michael Saylor did for his company as a majority shareholder of the company, I think he holds. Okay, do you guys want to keep listening to this? I mean, okay, so I posted this video on December 30th. So what was Bitcoin priced at around that time? Bitcoin was around 27, 28. I made my first purchase around 23,000. That's when I made the first purchase, but I didn't disclose it for like a couple days. But people in my Patreon knew about it beforehand. But yeah, I made the video on like December 30th. And I don't think it did bite me in the ass. At least not yet. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. When do you think, or what do you think will help stabilize Tesla's volatile stock price? Nothing. Nothing. As long as it is great, it's going to be volatile as hell. I think the volatility will subside when it has a much higher market cap than what it is now. But for now, yeah, I don't think so. Tesla is going to continue to be volatile. So any other questions before I hop off the stream, guys? I've been on here for a little while. Yeah, we're approaching 3 hours now. So how to analyze a company's financials. Yeah, I will say I'm no like professional on analyzing a company's financials, but with just basic understanding of companies' financials, you could just paint a picture in your head and see if they're in a position to do what you think they want to do. So I'll look at, okay, so for example, let's look at a company like Nano Dimension. Here, let's look at McDonald's. Let's look at McDonald's, okay? This is a company that we're not expecting to grow 30% every year for the next 10 years, right? This is a well-established company. So we're going to look at McDonald's. Let me pull up their financials. Where is it? Forward-looking. Selected financial data, page 26. All right. So this is a company that has substantial operating incomes, okay? So they're at a point where they're established. Because they're established, we want to see that they have cash flow and operating income. They're established. They've already gotten past the growth phase where they're not profitable. So now they are producing income, and we want to make sure that they are able to cash flow as a business. So, of course, we can see that they are cash flowing, right? And they are able to pay out dividends to their shareholders because of this. So they don't see any benefit of reinvesting the money back into the business so much. So they're able to distribute money to their shareholders because they're past the growth phase. They're in a point where they're able to share money with shareholders because, again, they're past the growth phase. Depending on the company you invest in, they're going to have different goals, different plans, and they're at different points in their business life cycle. So McDonald's established, they're not focusing on growing 30% anymore, like Coca-Cola, like what are some other traditional value stocks, things like that. Yeah. But for companies like Nano Dimension or even Amazon, for example, they're still focused on growing. They're not very profitable, but that the revenue figures are going up. Okay. So they might not be profitable in terms of the bottom line, the net operating income, net income, but they are profitable. But they are growing in terms of sales. Their proof of concept is expanding. Their product's expanding. So any profit that they could potentially get just gets reinvested into the business. We already know that because of how the information that Yoav Stearns disclosed with us and things like that. Hey, David, I appreciate the donation. Thank you, David. $2.99. $2.99 instead of like $3. Give me the pennies. I'm keeping Doge for the lulz. Yeah, I mean, if you are willing to hold it for a long time, Jimmy, just hold it forever, man. Yeah, Coco, it's all good. You're around. I trust your decisions in terms of the chat. So yeah, I gave you moderator status. You've been around since the beginning. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to wrap up the live stream now. It's been 2 hours, 41 minutes. Thank you guys for sticking around so long. Again, I'm going to throw in the Patreon group because this helps support the channel. So if you guys want to support the work that I do on the channel, outside of YouTube ad revenue, they really keep a lot of YouTube ad revenue. So what's really keeping me going is the Patreon. So if you guys want to support the channel, go to the link stickied in the chat, www.patreon.com/JP Investing. I have a few spots available in the Moonlings group. The Martian group has a plethora of spots as well. And this is a place that I'm active a lot of the time. So if you guys want to pick at my brain, or if you guys want to interact with other people who are constantly here on the live streams and want to join private live streams that I'm going to have there as well, go ahead and join the Patreon group. You can DM me there. It comes with a Discord group too, where we are also active. And it's a great place to stay active in the community without being active in your portfolios. Yeah. So actively learn, don't actively manage. That's another tip there. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next live stream.